Listen, okay? If you were going to do this by now, you would have already done it. We are in the last quarter of the year, and you've been saying that you want to go ahead and make more money next year, that you don't want to be in the same place, that you want to be able to buy your children what they need. Okay. We're not talking about wants, but we're talking about basic needs. So I want you to do me a favor and go ahead and grab a pen, a paper, the notes in your phone so that I can go ahead and give you 5 steps that are going to help you to be able to create an online business. Also, if you're intrigued by digital products, note that this will work for that as well. Okay. We're not going into next year the same. We're going to go ahead and get you a plan started in this fourth quarter so that you already have a strategy in place to get to where it is that you need to be. Let's go. So you're gonna go ahead and pick an idea, your niche. You keep hearing about niche. Don't get caught up with that particular word. Okay. All you have to know is that you want to be able to have knowledge and insight on the particular audience that you want to go ahead and sell your product, whether it's a digital product or a service to. That's the only thing that needs to be in your head. Stop overcomplicating it. You definitely want to connect this to something that you're passionate about or something that you know that people have a need for. Remember, you are a problem solver as a business owner. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you an example. For me, I have an online remote cleaning business and I also sell digital products. My particular audience is female entrepreneurs, lady CEOs. And so you just have to figure out who your people are and how you can help them. Now, I think that this is one of the components that sometimes people miss, and this is our number 2, by the way, and that's to go ahead and validate your idea. One of the greatest and fastest ways that you can go ahead and build an online business and find your people in particular is by creating content. So there are different content buckets that you can go ahead and create while you're testing to validate whatever your idea or your niche is. And so some of those particular content buckets that you can create content around can be education or even entertainment. So what you can do is utilize maybe 30 minutes. Go to some of the greatest content creators that you follow and kind of look around to see what they're doing, especially if they're selling something that you want to have the opportunity to sell. But remember the clause of differentiation. You're not copying their ideas, but you're putting your sauce on your particular content so that then what you're selling fits who you are in your particular audience. Remember differentiation, okay? We're not copying, we're getting ideas and we're trying to figure out how we can make it work for our audience. Next, this might scare you, but you're gonna have to get it done anyway. And that's to whereas you're gonna go ahead and set up your branding, your legal, and whatever your platform is gonna be if you don't already have it. And so if you don't decide to do or to file for your entity with your state right away, I want you to start thinking about it. Don't be intimidated by it. What do you want the business to be called? What do you want the business to be? Remember, we're keeping this super simple and we're not overcomplicating this process because it doesn't have to be. Now, my philosophy is that you need to be on as many platforms as possible, and there are different types of apps and websites that will help you to be able to post to several platforms at one time. All you got to do is ask ChatGPT. We're keeping it simple. So once you decide what platforms you want to be on, then that connects to what we mentioned before with regards to validating your idea, getting those content buckets together so that you can start creating content that connects to your particular audience. When you have your platform, you can always go on the back end to check your analytics. In your analytics, you'll see who is looking at your content, what times they're looking at your content. So if you pay attention to the videos that are getting more traction, then you know to keep making those types of videos. Simple. All right, so then our next step is understanding marketing and traffic, which connects to the analytics that I just mentioned. So now once your platforms are absolutely set up, now you know that your people are getting ready to find you so that you can sell that service or that product, right? This is free marketing because it can get pretty expensive. Now, one of the most powerful things that you can do is share your story. For me, I oftentimes share the fact that I got fired from my corporate job, was literally going through an awful, public, disgusting display of a divorce. And I essentially had to pivot by creating a remote cleaning business. Now, on the other side of that, I also have the opportunity now with that positioning in my story to create digital products for those that want to learn how to create a remote business, cleaning in particular as well. And when you're creating this marketing plan or strategy to be able to connect to your particular customers and followers, you want to make sure that you're engaging. So if somebody writes a comment on one of your posts, please make sure that you're engaging, and also have a mentality to whereas you're not just in a place where you're a consumer anymore. Okay, if you're positioning yourself as an online business owner, you now have to be in service, and part of your service is replying to comments to let people know that you want to develop relationship with them. Next, you're going to start to tell people about what you're selling. And one of the ways that you can do that, aside from your particular content strategy and your marketing, is by going live. Going live on TikTok is really a gem that most oftentimes we miss. Now, I've been on several other platforms live down through the years, but for some reason, TT has got that sauce in terms of giving you exposure at a super fast rate. So, for example, if I want to show people how to be able to create a remote cleaning business and the different things that come with that, it's important for me to make sure that when I'm going live, I'm talking about those different elements, how I did it, maybe ways that they can get started. So now you don't have the excuse of saying that you don't know what to talk about when you go live. What you're talking about is your story. You're talking about your product. You're talking about your service. You are doing this in a very intentional way so that people now recognize you in the industry as an expert as it pertains to that particular product or service. Now, these 5 steps that I've given you, you're going to put them on rinse and repeat. Keep doing it over and over and over again, because people are going to follow you on the basis of your consistency. If you don't show up, then how can you expect for other people to show up? Be the leader that I know that you are, and make sure that you're getting ready today to go ahead and launch your business. And really, it should have been yesterday, because the year is almost over and we're not doing next year like we did this year. Do me a favor, make sure you're following me. And if you have any questions surrounding anything that I mentioned or anything that pertains to building an online business, let me know in the comments.